Hello. So I'm going to show you today how I make a very big, ignore this little cat here, how I make this very big canvas. I just one day I was like, man, I really want to make a big painting. Didn't have the funds for the canvas I wanted. They were about $100 for the same size. I was like, okay, time to get crafty, utilize craftiness. I developed this. It is extremely sturdy. I had it blowing in the wind. I had it get rained on. It is not going anywhere. I've made it entirely of cheap canvas that are smaller. So these are 16 by 20s, and I fasten them together. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And it's not as intimidating as it looks. And the more art that gets made, the better, and I don't think it should cost a lot of money to do so. So let me show you all my supplies in a second. Okay, so this pack, or any of like the same size, just cheap canvas you can get. Honestly, the cheap ones are good anyway because the staples come out easier. So I got this big variety pack, economic pack, for about $13. And then I wanted to do a 60-inch piece, so I had an additional one that I had, or you could just buy one additional one. What you're gonna wanna do is wear gloves. Please wear gloves. Knife, okay? There's my cat, that's French toast. You will want to take the knife and shimmy under the staples and get them out. And I just say to do that because I don't have a staple remover, and I tried to use a staple remover at my school and it kind of wasn't working how I wanted it to. So sharp thin knife or a thin tool like a little screwdriver will work good, but please wear gloves because they're in there kind of wonky sometimes. You don't want to slip and get hurt. So you're gonna want it like this, and I'm gonna show you how to map it out in just a second. You're gonna want to just be able to peel it off of 2 to 3 sides. How I have it labeled, I used vine charcoal. Just have like a Sharpie or a pencil. Okay, so I have these arranged already. Took me about 30 minutes to take the staples out, not gonna lie. So I cut that part out of the video to save time. I have them arranged like this, and I've done one that was just this big, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this time I want another 60-inch piece, so we're doing 6. But 4 works great, and it's good in a pinch, and it's still going to be cheaper than one of the equivalent size. Regardless, you're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 on it just so you don't lose track, because you have to take the staples out of the corners that are touching another canvas. So you would just take out these 2 sides. Marking it with an X saves time. I just have done this 3 times, and that would be the best thing to do. These ones you take out 3 and then just 2 on these. So once you have that all done, put it on a surface. That's why I have the drop cloth, a surface free of dust, free of I wouldn't do it on carpet or anything like that. You're going to want to take a pack. Let me not fall here. Okay. A pack of, I got these at Michael's. I could have gotten them cheaper at the dollar store or something. They were about $6, but you're gonna want the 6-inch ones. It just makes life easier. You can get these smaller ones, but you'll end up having to conjoin them, and you might like run a little short. So this pack, it has, how many in here? 100. And they're 6 inches. Hi, French toast. She will be joining today. Okay. And she's usually helpful. I took all the staples out and put them in here, by the way. Have like a bowl. Don't just let them go flying because there's a lot and they get everywhere. Let me get these out. I used different glue last time, and I used different glue the time prior. So I'm just trying out different stuff, seeing what I like. This one, it was just a little more economical than the one I used last time, which was the Alessi's and I'm not sure the exact type, but it's a like UV safe, outdoor safe, canvas safe. What you're going to want to look for basically is, careful, thank you. You're going to want to make sure that it can bond wood and fabric. So that's the safest bet. Let me open this. I haven't used this one, but it says it dries faster. So the Alessi's one worked very well, and it gave me more time to play with it and make sure the glue didn't get everywhere. This one dries a little faster, so I'm gonna have to be a little more careful. So I would maybe get the other one. Also, ventilation. I'm not sure how strong this glue smells, but the last one smelled very strong. So mask if you want. I also have like plastic gloves because sometimes you have to get in there with the glue with your finger. So let me try to speed things up a little bit. A spray bottle or a wet sponge are also handy to keep nearby. When you're done with this, you're going to wet the canvas. That is going to help it tighten up. So at first it's going to look a little wonky, but I promise it's going to all come together in the end. This is something that doesn't look good until you're like almost done with it. So don't be scared. If you're following the tutorial, you'll have it. So what you want to do before applying the glue, applying the French toast, please. She's sneaky. She likes to sit on this setup. And can you not ruin the tutorial? Thank you. Come here. See, I have to be a mother, so that's another obstacle. Attention and love. Attention and love. All right, go play. Please. Thank you. We're going to lift the corners and lap them up. Line them up with the piece underneath it. So let me see if I'm getting this right. You're going to want to line them up with the piece underneath, and then take this piece and tuck it underneath. And that would require me, I'm going to have to cut this little piece off camera really quick. Let me see if I can show you this little overlapping piece just so that it can tuck perfectly underneath. Basically. Okay, I'm probably just going to talk through the rest of this tutorial because I haven't really done tutorials before and it's proving a little difficult. So basically, you are going to lift those pieces. You're going to apply this glue or the Alessi glue underneath this part. If you have wood glue by the Gorilla brand or the Elmer's brand, works perfectly fine. That's what I used the second time. You're going to put it under there. You're going to take the zip ties, let me open it with my teeth, and you're going to slide them like so. Oops, it's because I'm sitting on it, probably. Okay, you're going to put the zip ties underneath like so, and you're going to, well, these ones are too small actually. Maybe I used the 8-inch ones last time. Oh well, I'll have to do that conjoining thing, but basically, put the zip ties on each other and zip tie this together. And I feel like you see the idea. I do this twice per intersection, okay? When you're done, on this one I did it more than twice per intersection because I just had extra zip ties and I was just trying to use them up. Twice per intersection. This, you could ignore these canvas strips. That was just me putting that there. I was trying to make a handle, but I failed, so it's just there. And it's kind of holding it together a little additional, so, I mean, if you have extra canvas. When you're done with that, next step, you're going to go underneath it and feel where the canvas is. There's a gap basically between the two canvas. That is where you apply a little more of the Alessi glue or the Gorilla Glue, and you will smooth it with your fingers. Once you have all the pieces at least zip tied together and at least glued together, let it dry for a little bit, and then once it dries for a little bit, you can come around to the front and you can smooth it down and add a little extra glue to the seam from the front side. But let the back side dry first. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Ignore my loud cabinet and my messy abode. Oh my goodness. Anyways, when you're done with that, what you choose to do with the surface is up to you. I found that I got a really beautiful finish from using a whole tub of modeling paste from Artist Loft brand. Modeling paste, any kind of modeling paste you can find. There's cheaper than that. You can even just skip it, or you can just use it on like the part where the seams are. It's a thicker paste, and as you apply it, it's going to, it just makes it look more like you bought it as one singular piece. You can even double that up if you want. Let it just dry fully between layers of all these layers that I'm telling you about. So for the next layer, gesso, if you don't do the modeling paste, put the gesso. You're gonna want at least one. The brand Artist Loft is just the first one I can think of because it's $5. That's not much. You know, you can either get some of that or you can use a more expensive brand. That's up to you, because you might want a different type of finish. I just, you know, was trying to get this project done. I probably, just for personal use, would have used even another layer or two of gesso, or better quality gesso, and less of it, because the more you put, the more you're getting rid of this surface texture, and you're helping blend all of the seams all together. Okay, last, your project is done. You've probably spent about a day on it because all of these layers need time to dry. So depending on what types of glue you used, what types of primer you're using, your results can vary on how long it's going to take to dry. But I would give yourself 1 to 2 days. Like, don't like, if you have a project due in like 5 days, maybe this is not the best option for you. Though I did make this whole thing within 5 days, painting included, so go wild, but experiment with what works best for you. Another tip, I have this, it's called the continuous spray bottles. If you know of these, they just have a nice, well, maybe somewhat nice, long thin stream of water. That's nice to have. It works just as fine if you wet a rag or a sponge and kind of soak the back surface. Wait until the front is dry, at least mainly dry. Wait until the glue is looking mainly dry, and wet mainly this canvas part. As it dries, it is going to just tighten up, and you're gonna find that normal canvases that bounce are not the same as this one. This one has a little give to it, so you're gonna have a fun time painting on it, I promise. That's kind of it for this tutorial. You can see again how I have it laid out. The drop cloth is very handy if you have one, or just an old sheet you don't mind getting dirty, and then you can do this anywhere basically. Ventilation, protection, and yeah, go crazy with the gessos, go crazy with the primers, and you know, if you make any cool art using this method, feel free to show me what you've created.